Wendy's so sort of lovely and complicit and has such lovely spirit that seems strange to try and push her beyond what she's comfortable with. But like, you know, as I say, no one has any explicit problem with us being sort of mildly physical or saying that we're boyfriend or girlfriend. But, you know, it's not just about sort of shocking people, it's about getting us to think, getting them to think and getting you to think as well, I suppose. So I suppose we're going to have to just push things a little bit further. So just ring her up now and see if I can get her to pop on a negligee or something. Wendy? Here, are you alright about doing this swimming lock?
Yep.
We won't be in there for long, I can do that.
I trust you a lot to be able to expose myself like this.
Why, are you shy about it?
It's just that after you get to a certain age, you don't like your body very much.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, see, that's another thing I want to talk to you about now. Well, don't you worry. It's not...
I mean, I sometimes sort of say to... I feel like sort of shrieking at some of these gorgeous young things. You know, I was young and gorgeous once. I had a gorgeous figure, and I used to do... I mean, I did actually do a couple of nude top shots.
No!
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah.
Cool. Nude photographs for a photographer. Right, let's go to the swimming pool and then we'll just have a bit of a swim. Just... So, like I said, this thing is like got to be like conducted on a couple of levels. One, it's just like a frivolous, jokey thing, just to see how people react. But I think people all have pretty much a standard reaction. And the other thing, for me, is like to seriously look at what the prejudices and taboos are, and what are the triggers, what are the things that it signifies. What, you know, like sort of what, you know, like we said earlier. You would think it was unusual or weird, or when you come across it in society, people like cross-generational relationships.
Yeah. Well, it's totally impractical, apart from anything else.
Why impractical?
Because I'm liable for a younger person. I want their trust, I want their love, but I don't want their sex.
Really?
I don't want
what happens to
sex.
No? Why not?
I've been through all that waiting for the phone to ring, all that emotion, all that does he, doesn't he, will he, won't he, all that sort of...
Yeah.
Oh, God, thank God that's over. I don't think I could ever go through the emotion.
Because it's too emotionally demanding?
Yeah.
But I've always thought that that's a sort of a fundamental part of your life. So what would you replace that with? Wouldn't you feel the loss of that so desperately that, you know, that you couldn't be glad?
Replace it with living.
What kind of living? What kind of living?
I mean, you suddenly feel, if you haven't got somebody to worry about, you can travel, you can go, you can be free to be with who you want, where you want. There's so much in life to do.
So you don't like have just base physical desires then?
No.
You don't?
No. I mean,
Did you? What do you like?
I don't like old
No, no.
you know, and I've heard a lot of old men say I don't like old women particularly. You know, so...
There's pornography with old women in it.
Is there?
Yeah, he looked at it.
How old?
Like 80s? Seriously? Sometimes you seem like really optimistic and like you just want to eat life and live all sorts of things. But then there's another aspect of your character that's just like, oh well, I'd rather just abandon that and close down that, you don't want that anymore.
Yeah, you sort of, if you keep going down a lane where you get hurt, and you get sort of, you know, miserable, it's really nice to stop going there.
It's midnight at the end of the first day with Wendy. I've come to realise that, you know, Wendy is a very sweet, dignified, lovely lady. She's very sort of open. She's not sort of cliche or a stereotype. What she is essentially is, you know, somebody that it doesn't seem at all right to try and sort of secretly push Wendy towards a physical act. And not only that, it seems pointless. It seems like you wouldn't really achieve anything. She's been so sort of clear about, oh well, I don't really have physical desires anymore. I still think there's loads to learn from it. I think that Wendy's like really sort of positive, but I think, you know, as I say, trying to pursue her and sort of feel her up, I don't think is going to be particularly rewarding. Wendy sort of, I think is an illustration of the advantages of advancing years. She said, oh, you know, now that I'm older, I don't feel under such pressure. She said, she was just now saying that, like, oh, if she'd been younger, she wouldn't have been able to deal with me in the same way. She'd have felt under pressure, and she would have flirted more and have been self-conscious and stuff like that. So, you know, they're sort of so she's, I suppose, in a way, pointed out different advantages to getting older. But I mean, for us, obviously, we're like looking to make a program that like examines and shocks and exposes taboos and stuff, and it's, you know, it's not going to be about that, because Wendy, quite frankly, she doesn't actually says that she doesn't have any kind of libido. She doesn't have, like, because if, like, I could say to her, well, you know, Wendy, in the service of your happiness, I'd be happy to perform a gratuitous sex act upon you, or do anything that, for her, that would just, you know, she'd just be appalled at the idea. I mean, you know, I'll still mention it, but she's made it sort of quite clear that that's not something that interests her. So, the old, eh? They're just, you know, they're just like everyone else. I suppose we should have known that anyway. So we've had